friends. Cross the maze.
Good morning friends, and welcome back to a new video, and welcome back to my channel. I'm at work right now, and as you can see, it looks a little bit of a bomb. And this is usually how it looks like when I'm going to each and every destination when I'm loading cargo at the terminals. And I can't just load the cargo as it is, because the cargo is going to different places around where I'm going. So the first thing I have to do when I get to a place that looks like this is to check each and every pallet to know if it's going north or south. So we can take this pallet, and if you check here, maybe this one is going north and maybe this one is going south. So the first thing I have to do is to check that out, and I usually put a little marking on the cargo. So if this one is going north, it's getting a north marking, and if this one is going south, it gets a south marking. So that is the first thing we're doing. We're sorting out the cargo, and then we can start load stuff together. So maybe if you take that pallet, maybe belongs to this pallet. So we have to start building and try to create as high pallets as possible so that you can fit as much as you can into the truck. So the cargo that is going more north we have on the front of the truck, and the cargo that is going more south is going in the back of the truck. So it's like north, middle Sweden and southern Sweden. So it's quite a lot to think about and to make sure it gets right, because yeah, it takes a few hours to load the truck, but I think it's fun. It's fun to do a little bit of thinking, so you don't just drive. You can use your head a little bit too. You don't only see the road, you see a lot of cargo. You can drive different forklifts and wheel loaders. So I think it's one of the fun parts of work. I know a lot of people don't like this, but I really do. I think it's a lot of fun. And here we have our next generation Scania. And the other one that we're having is a little bit cooler, because that one has a moose fence in the front. But today we are taking this one. And right here when you open the door, we are a lot of different drivers, so our trucks aren't the cleanest. So here you have the inside, and we have a little roof window. And for those who haven't seen how the next generation looks like, I'm going to show you a little bit here. And we can start here at the door. Here you can lock and unlock the truck, and this is for up and down for the window, for the left and right side. And this one is for the big mirror here. We can move it there. And this one is for the small mirror up there. And we have that one. This is actually a new button that they don't have in the old Scania. As you can see, this is for that mirror up there, so that you can see everything that is in front of the truck. That is actually a very, very good mirror. And actually we have another button, this one, and that is for that mirror there. And that also, you can see all of the traffic that is on the right side of the truck. Also a very, very good mirror. And this button is the mirror heater. So when it's snowing or raining, you can start that button up and it will dry the mirrors. And we have this one. This is for the light to the truck. And this is the fog lights, headlights and backlights. So this is what it looks like in here. And also the thing that I like about the Scania is that they have this is the handbrake. And on the Volvo you just have a little button that you kind of like attach, and I don't really like that. I like it better to feel that you are hitting the brakes properly. Here's for the wind wipers, and you press this one to get some water fluid. You also have the blinker here, and on this side have the retard, Mr. Retarder, and this one is, instead of using your foot brake, you are using this one. It's kind of like an engine brake, and it's really good because you are saving a lot of brakes when you're using this. And what we have here, if you get too close to one of the white lines on the road when you're going like outside the lines, this one will warn for you, so you will hear a beep like that tells you that you have to stay on the road and don't go outside of the white markings. And this button, I really like this one. I just learned about it a few years ago, and that button you use if you're going to start in a hill, either uphill or downhill. The truck kind of holds the truck for a few seconds so that you can manage to change the foot from the brakes to the gas, and so you don't roll backwards in a few, I think it's like 3-4 seconds or something. So I always have that button in when I'm driving. There's also a lot of adjustments that you can do to the seat. You can change the neck and you can change the back, and there's a lot of different functions right on the back that you can change. You can also have on the seat here, you can choose to sit further down. I like to sit as far as down as you can, but you can change it for up and down, and you can tilt it. And the best function of all in the seat is probably this. This is the heater. It's also a cooler in this truck, and the cooler, if you check here, is kind of like holes inside the seat. It's a fan that is underneath here that is kind of like giving you like a fresh breath of air up in your butt. So it's kind of like a cooler if you are really warm. I don't really use it. I'm using the heater, even though it's summer. I like to have a little bit of heat, and I don't like to use the fan either, because we are a lot of truckers that is sharing these trucks. So imagine yourself when you're putting the fan on, and all of our drivers aren't really good with the hygiene. So when you're starting up the fan, you kind of like feel the smell out of all of the sweaty butts that has been sitting here. So that is not so nice. The best thing is if you are having your truck by yourself, or maybe have 1 or 2 persons, but we are so many people that is sharing these trucks. But yeah, it's a really nice function if you are a warm person. So thumbs up for that, but it doesn't smell so good. We continuing on the inside, and here we have a coffee maker, and here we have the refrigerator. So while you are driving, you could just easily grab a soda while you are on the run, and it won't be so bothered because it's very close to the driver's seat. On the Volvo, the refrigerator is over here, which can be a little bit dangerous if you really want a water or a soda while you are driving, and you have to go like this. So I think it's a good place to have the refrigerator if you are really in a need of a soda while you are driving. There's also some adjustments that you can do on the steering wheel. There's a little button here on the side. You unlock it there. You could just change the steering wheel up and down, but you can also drag the steering wheel a little bit forward, and you can also put it in like that. And then when you have found where you want to have the steering wheel, you just press here and you lock the wheel. After we have loaded the truck in the wagon, we have to attach the truck to the wagon, of course. And we actually have the wagon with us 99% of the time. The only time when we unhook in the wagon, if we are going to load at some very tight place when you can't fit with the wagon. That doesn't happen very often, but 99% of the time we're having the wagon. So we are going to go out and we're going to attach the truck to the wagon. It's very important that you go out and see that you are in line with the drawbar when you're going to attach the wagon. Because even though that you have been driving for 100 years, you can never be sure that the drawbar are in line with the truck. So that's why we have this one. This is actually upside down. This is actually for the air to the truck, so you can rise it and lower it. So if we press this one and we press up, the truck is going up. This is how it looks like when it's going down. And to put it in drive mode, we just press the green button there. We can both rise and lower our truck, so we can attach it easily to the drawbar. Now our truck and wagon is attached, the truck and the wagon, but before we can go, we have to release the catastrophe brake here, or the parking brake for the wagon. So we just pull this one in. So now we can go. If you don't release that one, these wheels won't turn and you will get a flat tire quite fast because they aren't rolling when you are driving. So it's really important to not forget to loosen this one up. Right now, when the wagon is attached, our truck is 24 meters long. It's 4.5 meters high, and the total weight, it's not the total weight right now, but the total weight of the truck with cargo is 64 tons. And this is a trailer wagon. It has more axles than our usual wagon has. This one only has 4, but this one has 5. And for those who don't know, our wagon is probably at the same length as a regular trailer. So it's kind of like a trailer with a truck in front of it.
When you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me.
R500.
Stop chasing all the city lights. Breathe me in, go on and take a bite. Count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight.
But there's one thing I want to show you about unhooking the truck from the wagon that I really would like you to know. So we're going to unhook the truck from the wagon again so that I can show you what I mean. When you have parked your truck into a dock like this, the first thing you have to do is to lock the wheels to put on the catastrophe brake. And the second thing you have to do is to unhook these. The air, the lights, the ABS. And the last thing you're going to do when you are unhooking the wagon is to release the drawbar pin. Now the drawbar is loose. And you can see here that the little red pin is almost out, which means that the drawbar isn't locked anymore to the truck. And we've noticed that there's a lot of people that forget to pull out the cables. They only attach the brake in the back and the pin here. So I don't know how and why they keep forgetting to pull out the cables, but the ABS cable always breaks. So that's why my boss, he had come up with some kind of solution, really smart actually. He has made a little steel wire that goes from the one side of the ABS all the way to the back here. So when you are attaching this one in here, there, when you are unhooking the wagon from the truck and you forget to pull out the cables, when this one gets tightened enough, this one takes the ABS cable out so it doesn't break. I don't know how you can forget to pull out the cables, but some of our drivers does. So it's a really smart solution if you have problem with that kind of stuff. Well guys, while we are talking about brakes and about the wagon, I actually have a little bit of a horror story for you. And that was when I was going to unload my wagon. So I was backing up my wagon into the dock, and I was losing all of the cables and stuff from the truck. And when you are losing the pneumatic, the air to the brake should automatically hit on the wagon. That is kind of like for safety reasons. If you would ever drive away with your wagon and the wagon loses from the truck, it should always be like the catastrophe brake should always hit when the pneumatic goes out from the truck. So I was backing up the dock. It took off all of the cables. I took my truck and I was going to park it into another dock. So I was driving, I was starting to back it up, and all of our wagons kind of like looks the same, as you can see here. So I was driving, and all of a sudden I saw like a wagon that was standing really bad, and I was like, that's a weird place to park a wagon. So I continued to back it up, and I was like, oh my god, it's my wagon, you know, it was rolling. So I took the truck and I was driving towards my wagon, and then I just jumped out of my truck and I was running to my wagon, and I applied the parking brake for the wagon. I just pulled this one up, and luckily the wagon stopped, and I was like all the shaking. It was horrible. And you see the drawbar here. I was probably like only a meter in front of another truck, so it was so close to make an accident. We have a strap inside the truck, and in the wagon we have a strap that is holding the truck so it doesn't roll off to the streets here. So the best thing you can do is either to take a strap either on the inside of your truck, or you can put it in the wheel. But you also should have a wheel locker here. And if you don't have a wheel locker, you could just take a piece of a broken pallet or some hard garbage or a stone or something to put in front of your wheel, just to make sure that it doesn't roll off from the dock. So I really learned something there, and I'm happy that it went so well that it did. It was no one out there, so it's like you said, you learn from your mistakes, and I really did, because that was so scary. I was probably like shaking for 2 days after that, but I learned. It was a horrible thing to learn, horrible way to learn it, but I did. So now I'm extremely careful to make sure that the wagon is attached properly to the dock. And you should do too. You should think about it. So do you guys have any scary stories about the air or with the brakes or any other story? So let me know that I'm not alone in this, and please drop a comment down here and let me know. So this was a little bit about the Scania. If you have any questions or wonders, just drop a comment and I will see if I can catch it up for my next video. And also I'm soon going to get home, because I'm going to count all of the candies in the jar, because I don't know either how many it is. So you still have a little chance to take a guess and drop a comment down here or in my other video about how many candies you think it is in the jar. And I'm also going to send away all of the gifts from my last video because of the winners. So I'm going to do that today as well. So yeah, we're going to get home, but if you have any questions about the Scania, just let me know and I will see if I can catch up with it. So it's time to get home and count the candies. So I just got home, so now we are going to count all of the candy pieces inside of the jar. Well, I don't even know myself how many pieces of candy it is in the jar. I was just filling up with as many candies as I could. So I was thinking that we could count all of the pieces together. So that is what we're going to do now. We're going to start to count all of the candy pieces.
Find your way into this wonderland. Cross the maze, the dark, the innocent. Chase the faith, the thrill, the heaven sent. I got your world upside down. The labyrinth will guide you far away.
I've just counted all of the pieces, and I have been counting them in 10, and we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 191, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, and 97. We have 197 pieces of candy. Congratulations too. I'm going to write to you, and I'm going to give you my email so that I can have your address and send the prize away. What did you guys think about having some competitions like this? Was it fun, or was it unfair, or what do you think? Drop a comment what you think about it. And if you liked it, don't forget to like it, of course. And you can write whatever you want down here. I'm trying to keep up and read everything. So yeah, but anyways, you're gonna have to take care, guys. I hope that you are healthy and that you are feeling good, and that you're just, it's summertime, just try to enjoy as much as you can. And I hope you had an awesome weekend. Have a continued good week, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.